Welcome back, everybody. So this week we're going to talk about the summer slowdown that's happening on eBay. And yes, it is such a whooping. It just kills me. But we're doing pretty good anyway. We're having consistent sales. They're just a little bit slower. There's not as many of them as there normally is. So I'm not hearing that cha-ching like regular. But for the summer slowdown, just keep doing what you're doing, keep listing, keep your account active, go on, change things around, move pictures around within older listings. That helps keep the SEO going and helps keep your page fresh and kind of keeps those algorithms in your favor. Okay, so we're gonna get started on this week. This week, what we sold, which is June 20th through the 27th. I'm kind of slow on this video. I was supposed to have it done yesterday, but I ended up taking the afternoon off and just had a little bit of relaxation for myself. You guys ready? Let's get to it. The first sale we're going to talk about is a Furby. For whatever reason, these little guys are flying off the shelf like hotcakes, so if you happen to see them at a garage sale or you have any in your attic, you might want to pull them out and get them listed on eBay pronto. I happened to pick up a pink Furby. We tested it, it works. It's just loud, like the mechanism on the inside needs to be oiled or something because it's just real loud, but it did talk, it does move, it does all those cool things that the little Furbies do. They kind of creep me out. That's neither here nor there. At this particular estate sale, they had them, they said like, you know, all plush stuffed animals, $2, but when we got to the table, the lady made us a bundle deal on what we purchased. So I'm gonna say I paid maybe about $1 for this Furby, and it sold for $39 plus shipping. The cool thing about all this, I always make sure that the buyers pay shipping. Very rarely do I ever do free shipping, and I'll tell you the reason why. When I did offer free shipping, I didn't really see, like when I was looking at the analytics, I didn't really see that it increased my sales at all. So you may have a different experience than me, but for mine, I didn't really see that it was being profitable for me, that the buyer pays shipping, and haven't had any problems with it since. So anyway, you might just think about that one. Next are going to be these Broadway tennis shoes. So these Broadway tennis shoes have like all kinds of like Broadway shows, and they're like these custom shoes that were printed and made. We happened to pick them up at our local Goodwill. The sizes were kind of off, they kind of run odd, so when I listed it, I made sure that I listed it that this is the size that's printed on the shoe, but that's not the size that they are. And then I measured the shoe heel to toe so that everybody would know that these, you know, the size was, you know, off. And it was off by like a size and a half, so it was, you know, off. Anyway, I happened to pick these up at my local Goodwill for $6. They sold this week, and it was an offer that my husband had sent in, and they took it, and it was an offer for $20, buyer paid shipping. I also wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about offers. Okay, so some people had said that like when they do offers, it only accounts for like a very small percentage of their sales. What I have noticed is that when we send offers, we have an uptick in our sales. So our sales were going down. Remember I told you summer slowdowns happening for eBay. And so my husband was like, you know, what do we do? And I said, you know what, we have this stuff in stock. Anyway, it's just, you know, junking up my warehouse. So let's get rid of what we can. So he started sending offers. And let me tell you what, of what I'm going to be looking at, of what we're going to be looking at today, these are all offers. These weren't flat out that people had bought them. These were offers that he sent because of the summer slowdown, and people are buying them. So do keep that in mind, that just because you're in a little bit of a slump, there are things you can do to kind of, you know, change it up. Here is a very, very important algorithm tip, okay? Don't ever not send in an offer. If eBay sends you a little link and that says, you know, these are the ones you can send offers on, use them. Use them all, okay? When you use them, eBay says, oh, this is something that this seller is using, we'll send them more. So if you don't use them, they're not going to send you any more. So you want to make sure that you use them. That keeps that algorithm, oh, this is something that this seller, you know, is using for themselves, for their business, and so therefore we're going to send them more. Keep that in your little noggin so that you know for next time, don't ever let those go. If they send them to you, use them. All right, next is this little desk sign. We have had this desk sign since we started. That's how long, so a little over 6 months, right? And anyway, we paid $3 for this desk sign. I believe we got it at the local Goodwill. Could have been a thrift shop, but I think it was the local Goodwill. Anyway, paid $3 for it. It sold this week, an offer, $30, and buyer paid shipping. So very, very exciting. We went kind of low on it. Other ones were selling for like $45, but like I said, this one's been sitting in our eBay store for, you know, about 6 months. And I thought, you know what, just lower it, get rid of it, and we'll, you know, have that $30 to use towards something else. So hey, it worked for me, and it was a good offer, and they took it. So yeah, pretty exciting. All right, next is this camcorder. I happened to pick this camcorder up at an estate sale. My husband paid $6 for it. It sold this week, another offer, for $55, buyer paid shipping. You never know exactly what somebody out there in, you know, eBay world might be looking for. So always make sure that you kind of keep your eye out. Something that has a box, something that's already, you know, wrapped, something that has the plastic still on it, tag still attached, those type things seem to sell a lot faster than items that don't. So this particular camcorder did have the original box with it, and so it sold fairly quickly, but like I said, it was an offer too. Just kind of keep that in mind. Next, we have the Disney, I think they're like Tinkerbell fairy books. It was like a lot, like a collection of them, 12 books. We paid $5, I believe, like $4.99 at the local thrift store. And anyway, we turned around and sold those for $34.95. I want to say this one is probably one of the only ones that sold this week that was not an accepted offer. That was actually a buy it now. So next is going to be a Bob Ross shirt. Number one, it was a kid's shirt, so kid size. And the adult sizes seem to sell a lot faster than the kid sizes do, but this one sold, and it sold really good. So I have $2 into the shirt, and it sold for $14.95. Buyer paid shipping. Now, I know I talk to you guys all the time about free stuff that you find after a garage sale, or when somebody's cleaning out their garage, they'll put a bunch of stuff by the road, you know, just say, you know, have a little sign on it that says free. This is one of those times. So this lady had this book. Actually, she had several books, and I picked them all up, closing down her garage sale. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, you know, I'll take them. She was like, well, you can just have it, you know, whatever's in those boxes you can have. And she had several books, and as you know, I love books. So I went through and I grabbed all the ones that were interesting to me. I noticed this particular book. It's a textbook. Not a textbook, but a T-E-X book, and it had, oh, what's his name? Matt Dillon? I think his name's Matt Dillon. I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember this. What I didn't realize is that the one with Matt Dillon, actually, they're kind of hard to find. You can't find a whole lot of them. They do have the T-E-X textbook out there, but the ones with not Bob Dylan, Matthew Dillon. What's his name? Anyway, okay, my mind just went blank. But anyway, so it had him on it on a motorcycle for free, sold for $6, and the buyer paid shipping. Yay! I love when that happens. Okay, so next is going to be Dr. Seuss teacher shirt. Picked it up for $3. It sold for $12. That was a good little find. I thought it was pretty interesting, and I got it about the time when all that craziness with the Dr. Seuss books were going on. So anyway, I thought, oh well, maybe somebody will want it. It'll be like a little collector's item or something. Next is going to be a Furby plush. I had never heard of a Furby plush before, but my husband happened to be going through, I believe, where is it, Topeka? He travels all over the place. Anyway, he was going through Topeka, and he happened to stop at one of the Goodwill bins and picked up a bunch of plushes and a bunch of stuff. And I believe, I mean, if we were to like break it down, I want to say he paid maybe 10 cents for this plush, maybe, because they go by the pound, and when you have plushes, it's not really anything. So anyway, paid probably 10 cents for this plush, and we sold it this week for $7.50. Buyer paid shipping. I'm going to talk to you about something a little bit crazy that I did not know anything about until here recently. I was told, a little rumor, somebody was telling me that they're like little blankets with like a little animal attached to it for like babies. So they'll have like satin on one side and like a really soft fabric on the other, and it's like a little mini blanket with an animal. Like normally the animal is right in the middle, so when you pick it up, it kind of, the blanket itself looks like the body of the animal. Anyway, here's a picture. Dandy Levy. It's a well, they call it a Levy. It's not the brand Levy, but it's just what it is. If you say Levy, most people know what you're talking about. But anyway, it was an elephant one. I picked it up. I paid 50 cents at a garage sale for it. Sold this week for $9.95. So if you see those, pick them up. Even if they're like the Circo brand, which is the Target brand, those seem to sell really, really good too. I mean, like $30, $40, which is just crazy. But keep that in mind, some of the older ones, people will pay extra for those. So if you happen to see those little Levy little blanket things, pick them up. Next is going to be this Joker hat. We picked this Joker hat up at a Goodwill, I'm going to say in Nebraska. We paid like $3 for it. Sold this week for $12. Like I said, these are a little bit different sales of stuff that we've already had in our store for a while. Most of these are through offers, through us sending offers to our customers. So make sure that if you get those, that you use them. During the slower months, it'll help uptick your business and keep you going, especially during the summer slowdown. Okay, next is going to be this lamb plush, and it's a vintage, I think you say Nikki, it's N-I-C-I, I think it's pronounced Nikki, and it's a French plush doll. Anyway, I paid 50 cents for it, sold this week for $15.95. Plushes, y'all. I don't know what the deal is with plushes, but people seem to want to pay outrageous amounts for plushes. So if you see unique or rare, something different kind of plushes, pick those up because they're worth it. You may have to hold on to them for a little bit, but like these two, I think I've only had them in my eBay store for not even a week, so not a bad return. Next is going to be this My Little Pony. You guys remember I talk about it quite frequently, that I had bought a lot of My Little Pony, and it was like, oh, I want to say maybe 6 or 7 little My Little Ponies for $2. And anyway, they just came in a little box. I paid the $2 for them, and they've consistently been selling. Anyway, this one sold this week. It's a My Little Pony Glow. It is a first generation My Little Pony. Paid, you know, a little nothing for it, and it sold this week for $29. That was an offer, and buyer paid shipping. The really cool thing about this particular My Little Pony is that the hair on it in the pictures was white, and I was like, okay, well, you know, it's white, I don't know what's going on, but the base of the tail, the hair was pink, and so I was like, well, I don't really know what's happening here, but you know, this is what it is, and just took the pictures and listed it and in the description, put everything in there. Well, I pull it out to ship it, and it's slowly turning back all pink. So I'm wondering if maybe because of how I had it stored, it was, you know, turning it back to the original pink like it should be. So anyway, I don't know, but I got good feedback on it, so I'm happy. All right, so next is gonna be another book. Again, got it at a garage sale. They were closing up. They had a big sign said free. So we picked up this book. It's The Sheep of the Lebec. I know I'm totally butchering that, but I think that's what it says. I could be totally wrong. And if so, just correct me below. Got it totally free, and it sold for $11.95. So not too bad. I mean, it is summer slowdown, but we're getting rid of some stuff that we've had either for a little bit or stuff that we recently got, which is making room for more stuff. So hey, I'm all about the shopping. So I really enjoy it. So okay, so here we go. This particular one was really, really cool because I got to talk to the buyer. Now the buyer was going to a, what did she say? She was going to a Mad Hatter's tea party, and so she had bought this teapot to go because I guess she's supposed to be going in character, and she was like, yeah, I've been looking for a really cool teapot that would match, you know, my outfit and everything. She said, I saw this and I loved it. It's the Cottage Rose by Tracy Porter, so I'm guessing it's like some kind of maybe collectible teapot too, but I have no idea. Anyway, I paid $7 for it at the local Goodwill. This particular buyer was sent an offer and she accepted at $20.95, and the buyer paid shipping. All right, so those are the sales that we had this week. Again, we are going through the summer slowdown, so we're having to kind of adjust and kind of learn how to go with the flow. And if you guys have any kind of tips or tricks, please share them below. I would love to read about them. What we have found is that even though everything during the summer seems to slow down, and we kind of like hit a brick wall, and like for a day and a half we didn't sell anything. I mean, it was like a big fat zero, and I was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? What are we gonna do? And so anyway, my husband was like, oh well, look, you know, all this, you know, right here it says, you know, we can send offers. I'm gonna start sending offers. And so he began, I think at first he had like for 2, so he sent those 2 offers. The next day he had 4. He sent those 4 offers. The next day he had 6. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I believe that there's an algorithm that's there, that's picking up every time you use these little tips and tricks that eBay is providing you. When you don't use them, I think it does hurt your business. Also too, something that will help you and help your store stay open and active is for you to go in and some of the older things, change something in the title, move some of the pictures around, add a little bit to the description. These type things will boost that particular item up, and the more that you do, of course, the more activity shows up on your page. And for whatever reason, just try it out. It worked for me. We started doing that, and then the next day we woke up and we had, you know, all this stuff sold. So it's been quite interesting, and we're learning all together. We're by far not experts on this. We're learning every single day, but we're having fun doing it, and we're so glad that you joined us. Please make sure that you like my page and like this video, and then also to hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment. I would love to chit chat with you. Definitely just want to make sure that my business is successful, and I want to make sure that yours is too. So hopefully we can help each other out, and together we can be a success. All right guys, I will see y'all next time. Thank you for joining me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.